So, very good evening to one and all. Good evening, children. Uh, Welcome to the e-learning class. Today we are going to discuss about intermediate second year economics. Second year economics, second lesson, demography and human resource development. In our previous class, children, we already started about the role of health in economic development. So, in that connection only, today class is also continuing about the health programs in India. In the previous class, we discussed about the all the health policies of the government and that to National Health Policy of 2017 also. Today in this class, we are going to discuss children about the national health programs. So there are overall, we are going to discuss under the four subheadings, that is National Rural Health Mission, Janani Suraksha Yojana, National Urban Health Mission, and Safe Clean Water and Sanitation. So let us start with the first one, National Rural Health Mission. The first health program, children, National Rural Health Mission. First of all, when we check it, children, we can find that there are a lot of disparities are there in the urban areas and the rural areas in case of medical facilities. You also accept this one. So we find that there are number of health facilities are there in rural and the urban areas. We find that in the urban areas, lot of facilities are given to the people in hospitals, in medical facilities, medical kits and so on. Whereas in rural areas, we find lot of people they suffer with the problems. So National Rural Health Mission, this is a mission, children. This is very important for 2 marks question, children. This is a mission where the government wanted to improve the health conditions of rural people. So what is that? Let us discuss one by one. The first one, to have 5 lakh ASHA workers by 2008. Ashas, it means, children, as accredited social health activist. Accredited social health activist. You find in your villages also, as most of your children, you belong to the villages, you hail from the villages, you find that there are many accredited social health activists are there in the villages. So nearly the range of this ASHA workers to increase up to 5 lakhs by 2008. What is the work of these ASHA workers that you find in your village? You find that these are the ASHA workers who move to door in the villages and they create an awareness among the people related to the institutional deliveries, related to the public hospitals, government hospitals, the facilities provided to the public hospitals, and creating the awareness time to time about the sanitation, about the safe drinking water, or also about the time to time whenever the other one or the other viral or other diseases spread, what are the precautions to be taken. So all these information, children, we get it from these ASHA workers. So there is a need to improve this, to increase this ASHA workers to nearly about 5 lakhs, and according to this program, it should be increased to 5 lakhs by 2008. That is the first rural health mission. Second one, by 2010, 2 ANM, auxiliary nurse midwives, to all sub-centers. That means in all the sub-centers of rural areas, compulsory 2 ANMs should be there. Compulsory 2 ANMs should be there by 2010. Number third, all PHCs, primary health centers, all the PHCs should provide with 3 staff nurses for 24 hours. You are also having a PHC, primary health service. For one or the other, for fever, flu, other things, children, most people will move to the primary health centers. So which kind of facility to be provided in NRHM, children? That compulsory 3 staff nurses should be there for 24 round the clock, and they should work in shift wise. That means facility of nurses in the PHCs in the rural areas. Next one, mobile medical units for each district by 2009. Mobile medical units. Mobile medical unit, it means that it's not sure that every time the patient should move to the hospitals. Sometimes we find that due to some other problem, the patient remains there only in the house only, remain there only in the home without any medical facilities. So at that time, if this mobile units, that means medical, if they move them to the door-to-door facilities which will provide it, we find that the health facilities we can improve it. So these are called as NRHM. NRHM, National Rural Health Mission, very important for 2 marks question, children, to improve the health condition of rural India. Second program. Second program is Janani Suraksha Yojana. Janani. Janani Suraksha Yojana. Janani, we call as the mother who gives birth to the child. We call as Janani, mother. Janani Suraksha Prevention Yojana. How we can save the life of a mother. Okay, a mother. So what is this Yojana, children? This is a program. Remember in our previous class we discussed about the maternal mortality rate. That means number of women and the girls are dying at the time of giving birth to the children because of many problems, like the problem like anemic condition, lack of hemoglobin, lack of proper medical facilities, and children, in most of the deliveries are not the institutional deliveries in our India. Institutional deliveries means deliveries are not, people are not moving to the hospitals for deliveries. They prefer, still many families are there, they are preferring deliveries at home only by some untrained professionals. So, Janani Suraksha, to reduce the maternal mortality rate and to reduce the infant mortality rate, to reduce the death of our newly born children, to reduce the death of the mother at the time of giving birth, this Janani Suraksha Yojana was launched. Very important for, again, for 2 marks. Janani Suraksha Yojana. So what is an objective, children, behind this Janani Suraksha Yojana? Reduce the infant mortality rate, reduce the maternal mortality rate. Okay, by institutional deliveries. How can we reduce, children? If the deliveries are happen in the safe in the hospitals. So hospital deliveries are preferred. By the help of that, we can save the life of the woman and the newly born children. Second one, this is a scheme is completely centrally sponsored scheme. That means 100% of expenditure it is only by the central government. State government is not sponsoring in this one. So under this one you can find that there will be a cash assistance also to the lady. So it is nothing but, children, we can say that it is like an incentive to a woman who moved to the hospital for delivery. So to attract the woman towards the institutional delivery, it is a package given by the government that after the, if the delivery is there happen in the hospitals, the woman should receive some cash benefit, cash assistance. Okay, from the hospital. So this is called as Janani Suraksha Yojana. 3 important objectives, very important for examination point of view. Reduce the infant mortality rate and maternal mortality rate. Second one, 100% centrally sponsored scheme. Third one is cash assistance will be given to the woman who move towards the institution for deliveries. Is it clear? Now, the third one, the third program is National Urban Health Mission. Our first program related to the rural areas. Now, our third program, it is related to the urban areas. So, National Urban Health Mission. Our National Urban Health Mission, what is the need? You may think that what is the need for this type of program in the urban areas? Children, in urban areas also, there are a number of poor people are living. We call them, many people are living still in slum areas in the urban areas, slum dwellers, poor people. So these people, to save the lives of these people, this National Urban Health Mission was started. Okay, to provide them health assistance, medical facilities and other policies. What are the policies that were implemented by the government to benefit all the urban people? Okay, this policy was laid down. National Urban Health Mission. The fourth and the last program related to this healthy children, it is clean drinking water and sanitation. Clean drinking water. I already explained you how the role of the clean drinking water for the health. So for the health purpose, government launched number of programs, children, to provide the safe clean drinking water to the people. As in our state also, we are having a Mission Bhagirath. That is one of the program that provides a safe water facility to the people. So safe clean drinking water is a responsibility of the government to give it to the people. Coming to the sanitation. Sanitation, October 2014, Government of India launched the program called as Swachh Bharat. Swachh Bharat program, and in this one the construction of toilets and the others. So sanitation facility, has already we discussed that in our India most of the diseases are spread, epidemics are spread because of the lack of sanitation facilities, lack of washrooms in the village and the other areas. So under this program Swachh Bharat mission, we find that number of washrooms, number of toilets are constructed at the village level in each and every home, and the people, they are getting this what you call this enlightenment towards the importance of the health. So children, these are all called as the health programs in India launched by the government. 4 programs: National Rural Health Mission, then Janani Suraksha Yojana, National Urban Health Mission, and Clean Safe Drinking Water and Sanitation. So with this, children, what we completed the health, the role of health in economic development. After this, children, we are having the topic, as you all know that because of this COVID-19, much of the portion was reduced or deleted for this year. The next topic that we are going to discuss, and the last topic of this lesson, is HDI. HDI, it means Human Resource Development. Human Development Index. Human Development Index. So what is this HDI, Human Development Index? So according to this Human Development Index, we find that United Nations Development Program in the year 1990, they submitted a report. So children, as already you know that the income is not only one criteria to call a country as a developed country of the world. Beside income, there are another criteria are there. By the help of that, we come to know that whether the country is developed or not. So beside income, there are other criteria that are developed, and those criteria were taken for the Human Development Index related to the human. So we tally all those things. Out of 189 countries of the world, the countries are given rank on the basis of some criteria that the country is developed or not. Actually, UNDP 1990, this Human Development Index, this was, children, was created by one of the Pakistani economists by the name Mehboob ul Haq. This person, he planned this Human Development Index. So what are the criteria for the Human Development Index? That is a long and healthy life. The first criteria is a long and healthy life. Long and healthy life is the first criteria for this Human Development Index. Then second one is adult literacy. Adult literacy is the second criteria for the Human Development Index. Okay, beside this one, the third one, children, the third criteria that we find in this one, decent standard of living. Third criteria is decent standard of living according to the US dollar. PPP, Purchasing Power Parity. So let us discuss about this Human Development Index. So in this Human Development Index, we find that the first one is long and healthy life, that is longevity. A country is called as a developed country on not only on the basis of income, but on the basis of the lifespan of the people. How many years a person of that country they are living, how long the persons are living. But easily we can understand that if a person lives a long life, definitely a person is developed from all the sides. He is healthy, he is educated, he is having all the facilities. So the first one is long and healthy life, longevity. If the person's life is small, less small age, we can find that if person at a small age, we can say that yes, because of lack of many facilities, the people are dying in those countries at an early age. Second one is literacy. A country is developed or not, it depends upon the literacy rate of a person. What is literacy rate? That is a person who can read, write and understand of 7 years and above in the country, called as literate, a literate person. So literacy rate should be taken down, that how many people are literate in that country. If education is good, definitely country will develop good. Last one is decent standard of living. That means how many people in the country they are living a good life, not a poor life. They are living a good life. That means how much is the purchasing power parity. PPP means purchasing power parity, where the people are able to purchase their basic needs, food, clothes, shelter, according to that US dollar. Whatever the money we are having with us, children, that money will convert it into US dollar. According to US dollar, how many people are earning the basic needs, that much of income, by the help of that they will be able to satisfy their basic needs. That comes under, children, the decent standard of living. So this is human development index. So I hope the topic is very clear to all of you. Children, this is also a very important point from the examination point of view. I hope this lesson is clear. So with this, we completed the second lesson of economics, second year, second lesson of economics we completed. Hope every one of you understood it. So what is your work, children? Your work is go through the lesson, follow my material, whatever is given to all of you, and then followed by, if you want to refer any other net or any other sources, children, you can search it, but all the way that you have to improve your knowledge. So it's a time to leave. Thank you one and all. Thank you, children.